and gentlemen, to the Diana Felzone Show on Paltalk every Thursday at 11 a.m. EST. You know, I just want to jump right into it because I know that we are here with a Paltalk super celebrity. Everybody loves you. You, silly, you.
Oh.
Everyone loves Gary. He is our political, I would say you're our political go-to guy.
Junkie.
Oh, you're the junkie?
Got to get a fix.
Okay.
What am I going to do now?
I don't know what you're going to do now,
upset.
except really follow what's going to be happening with the transition periods, you know.
Oh, thank God we have that.
Bush to Barack Obama, and I think it's really exciting. But
yes.
when I heard the news that Barack Obama won, I was on my way home from my radio show, which I do on Maxim on Sirius Satellite, and my doorman said, "It's official, he won." And the cheering, which I think is so amazing, and I'm curious, since this is an international audience, what happened in the different countries, and, you know, be sure to raise those hands and let us know what your experience was, because obviously America is a very powerful nation, just like there are many powerful nations out there, and we all have an effect over each other. So I was curious what the global reaction was, as well as the USA's reaction was in different states across the nation. But I know here in New York, and I'm sure you can attest to this as well, just hearing the cheering and the screaming and the taxis beeping and the cars going, it was unbelievable.
Yeah, I thought the only place that was happening was in Kenya and Indonesia, but actually it was happening in the United States as well. So.
Yeah, no, it was super exciting, and it was funny because during the day, when the election was actually taking place, people were saying, "Do you feel the energy? Do you feel the change in the air?"
Yesterday as well was continuing.
It really was, and I was curious, did you experience that too when you found out the news? Did you go to any election parties? What were you doing on big election night?
Well, we had extended coverage of News Talk Online, 7 straight hours of coverage till midnight.
Whoa! I hope they gave you a couple, martinis or something.
I was drinking Werner's ginger ale to try to keep going, but
that's non-caffeinated.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh, no,
ginger ale doesn't have caffeine. You should have gone with the Diet Coke.
But it was like a placebo effect. I thought I was getting caffeinated.
Okay, effectiveness.
But my son was hosting a party, and they got so raucous, is that the word? Excited, screaming and all that I had to put an external speaker on my computer so that I could hear the people calling because the noise from the other room was so loud.
Oh, so you were doing it from your house?
From my house.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, what I should have done though, although, oh my God, it would have been out of control, is I should have actually, in retrospect, done the show from the other room where the party was going on.
Oh, yeah, and seeing people's reactions. Well, that's something that you could do in the next 4 years.
4 years.
That's right.
4 more years.
2012, and already I'm sure people are gearing up for that as well.
Oh, yeah, well, the Republicans, they're having a strategy session today in a secret mountain retreat in Virginia. Hand-wringing. What went wrong, and what do we have to do to make it right next time?
I think one thing that went wrong, and I would love to hear your opinion on this. Number one, we've had a Republican in office for 2 administrations that got a little messy. People weren't so happy about it considering the economic crisis and also the Middle East conflict. Then on top of it, I think, McCain, when he gave his resignation speech, when he conceded to Barack Obama, I thought he did it in such a very kind way. I think he came across as a gentleman, never once was a sore loser. But what was really disappointing to me is if he would have had that attitude the entire time instead of going for that Republican stronghold, ba-boom, always let me get a punch in, always let me get the last word in, I think he might have done a little better, or at least would have had more sympathy when he lost.
Well, I think what happened was after he sewed up the nomination, there was a change in leadership in his campaign. Basically, the Republican National Committee came in and said, "We're going to run your campaign for you." And John McCain was not allowed to be John McCain. Now, I like John McCain. I covered him in Florida during the primary there.
Also friends with Hillary Clinton.
And, he's friends with everybody.
Yeah.
He reaches across the aisle, which really pissed off the far right of the Republican Party. So that's when they decided, you know what, we're going to bring in Sarah Palin because we need to
more conservative.
Bring the conservatives back into the fold. Now, of course, hindsight is always 20/20, but I felt at the time that was a bad move because where else are the conservatives going to go? I mean, they could have sat out the election, and maybe some of them did, even though he had Palin. That's true, but they certainly were not going to vote for Barack Obama,
right?
Who they were trying to paint as this socialist, Marxist wacko. No way were the conservatives going to vote for Obama. So they had no choice but to stay with McCain. Had he brought in a more moderate person, especially somebody who had an understanding of the economy, which he, in a moment of candor, acknowledged, I don't know very much about economics, which then bit him on the butt.
Of course.
I think because what you're doing is, this is why Barack Obama, by the way, Diana, changed some of his positions after the primary. During the primary, you're speaking to the party faithful. You've got to get them to vote for you rather than the other people from your party who are running. Once you get that nomination, you are no longer speaking to the party faithful. You've got them locked in. The people you are speaking to are the independents,
exactly,
the undecided voters. Those are the voters that are going to determine an election.
People outside, like myself, who are going, well, I'm not really sure who the best person is.
That's
because my particular stance is I'm not a member of either party. I go for the best candidate at that time. I would rather do that than always feel like I have to go with someone just because I'm affiliated with a certain party. And that's just how I've done it the past couple elections. However, I do think that also I've heard some rumors, which I think